Do you know someone who went broke a few months after retirement? Does that send chills down your spine? Trust me, I know what that feels like. We all know someone like that. But the goal is to never be like them. And trying not to be like them requires more than wishful thinking. You need strong retirement planning to retire rich and live a comfortable life. In this video, I will give you tried and true retirement planning tips to help you retire rich and spend the rest of your life in comfort. These strategies come from someone who has been living the retirement life for nearly 2 decades. So sit back, fasten your seatbelts, and ride with me. Let's face it, retirement is scary. Yes, it's the period you finally take a rest from many years of work, but a lot can go wrong during this time. For instance, a study by Harvard School of Public Health researchers found that retirees within a year of stopping work were 40% more likely to have had a stroke or heart attack than those who were still working. Oh, that's scary. This result aligns with an earlier study that concluded retirement significantly raises the risk of suffering a chronic condition. But before you start panicking, another study associated retirement with a substantial reduction in mental and physical fatigue, particularly among people with chronic diseases. These conflicting studies shouldn't confuse you. They reflect a reality we see daily. We see some retirees doing just fine after retirement and others not doing as well as they used to do. My grandpa is one of the lucky ones. He's been retired for 17 years and lived a comfortable life. What better candidate to ask what works and what doesn't, right? After seeking his advice, he gave me some practical retirement planning strategies that worked for him, and I believe they'll work for you too, regardless of the amount you earn. These 5 strategies will help you plan your retirement for financial independence. Let's get right into it. Strategy number 1. Determine what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Some people are okay with a modest life. They don't need a fancy car or holidays to be happy. But others prefer an extravagant life. They like luxury, and there's no shame in wanting luxury, but you should be willing to plan towards it. The last thing you want is to be depressed in retirement because you can't afford the things you want. The kind of lifestyle you want to live should determine how much you save and invest for the future. If you're going to live an affluent life in retirement, you should pursue multiple sources of income while you still have the time so that you can have more to save. My grandpa is one of the most modest people I know. I wasn't surprised when he told me he saved up according to his modest lifestyle. So he advises anyone considering retirement to make that determination and save accordingly. Strategy number 2. Save and invest now. I've heard many young people say Social Security will cover me. The future will take care of itself. Bro, I need you to see the data. The average monthly Social Security benefit in 2023 is $1,453.20. But a study from the advocacy group Senior Citizens League released in May found that retirees in the U.S. would need over $500 extra monthly in benefits to match their purchasing power in 2000. Basically, Social Security is not paying retirees enough to keep up with rising living costs and inflation. Interestingly, the program's Board of Trustees recently projected that there would be a 23% cut to benefits in the next 10 years. This means you cannot depend on Social Security. You must be the one to completely control your post-retirement funds. A 2023 survey for financial services company Charles Schwab revealed that Americans with retirement accounts believed they would need to save $1.8 million to retire comfortably. That seems like a lot of money, right? Only 37% said they were very likely to save what they needed for retirement. My grandpa told me one of his biggest regrets was not starting to save early. He started saving at 45, 15 years before he retired. Even though he has enough to live a comfortable life, he thinks he could have had more if he started saving earlier. So his advice is to start saving for retirement as early as possible. Start saving and investing now. Tell us in the comments how much you think you'll have in your retirement savings account by the time you retire. Strategy number 3. Have a savings and investment plan. It's not enough to decide to save and invest. You need a plan to do it smartly and effectively. My grandpa said he used a strategy that still works. The 75-15-10 plan. The plan includes spending 75% of your income on general expenses, saving 15% and investing the remaining 10%. You should save 15% of your income in a savings account for a year. This account will be your safety net for emergency expenses. I don't recommend saving in this account beyond a year to avoid inflation taking too much money away from you. You can always replace it whenever you take money from it. When you're not replacing these savings, the 15% should go to investments. That means when you're not adding money to your emergency savings account, you're investing 25% of your income. You can use tax-incentivized retirement saving options, such as employer-sponsored 401k or the individual retirement account IRA, to save money. But they have limitations. They limit the amount you can save as well as the range of investments you can consider. If you max out the tax-incentivized retirement saving options or want better investment options, consider other forms of investments. A. Stocks. If you're young and have up to 10 to 20 years before retirement, I recommend investing the majority of your investment funds in stocks. Despite their volatility, they usually outperform other securities like bonds over long periods. The principle of compounding comes to play here. The more time you have to save, the more interest you'll gain. B. Bonds. If you're closer to retirement, put your money in less risky securities like bonds. They don't return significant interest, but are less volatile, and inflation won't affect your savings. C. Commodities. Invest in commodities like gold, silver, or oil because their prices tend to rise during big market declines and recessions. That means your money will be immune from inflation and weakening currency. D. Mutual funds. Another good idea if you're a young worker is saving your money in mutual fund and letting professional fund managers invest the money in debt, balanced instruments, or equity on your behalf for potential high profits over time. E. Real estate. Investing in real estate is an excellent idea on paper because it generates high passive income, since property value is usually always increasing. But you can't consider this option unless you have a lot of money. And don't restrict yourself to saving $1.8 million. Living costs rise every day, and you can't tell how much the money will cost by the time you retire. Also, some people think they will spend significantly less in retirement, but that's not always the case. So you should not put a ceiling on how much you save. Keep saving as long as your current lifestyle is not affected. If you found value on any of the strategies I've talked about so far, don't hesitate to hit the like and subscribe buttons to help other people find this video. Back to our retirement planning strategies. Strategy number 4. Cut unnecessary spending. My grandpa said one of the secrets of his comfortable life has been living within his means since his early days in the workforce. He recognized early that his high income was not a ticket to upgrade his life. He stuck with his modest lifestyle while having more to save. He advises anyone who wants to retire rich to always find or negotiate a cheaper price for all their expenses whenever they can. This practice will leave them with more to save for retirement. Cutting unnecessary spending also involves accelerating your mortgage payments and paying off other debts before retirement, so that interest payments will not eat into your retirement savings. Strategy number 5. Invest in health insurance. When you retire, you will probably lose your employer's health coverage. That's where things get pretty tricky. As I explained at the beginning of this video, studies reveal that many retirees battle health issues soon after retirement. So it would be a mistake for any retiree not to anticipate this possibility. I know that it's scary, but it's better to be prepared than not to be prepared in any case. My grandpa told me that one of the biggest mistakes some of his struggling friends made was not investing in health insurance immediately after they retired and lost their employer's health coverage. They retired at 60, 5 years before they were eligible for Medicare. They were forced to pay for expensive healthcare out of pocket and didn't have an insurance company to share the burden. These retirees had to reach into their retirement savings every time there was a medical emergency. In no time, they had blown up a substantial part of the funds that were supposed to give them a comfortable post-retirement life. So my grandpa strongly advises buying health insurance before you are 65 to ensure you don't take on the burden of health risks alone. Even with Medicare, prepared to pay a lot of money in some cases, many people turn 65 before they realize that Medicare doesn't cover everything. At that point, it's too late. Don't be one of those. A study from the Employee Benefit Research Institute found that Medicare costs in retirement could reach $383,000 for a couple with high prescription drug costs. So, while saving up money for fancy holidays, it's in your best interest to save plenty of money for health insurance. As I wind up this video, let's quickly go through the 5 retirement strategies again. Number 1. Determine what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Number 2. Save and invest now. Number 3. Have a savings and investment plan. Number 4. Cut unnecessary spending. And number 5. Invest in health insurance. All 5 strategies are for everyone in the workforce. So share this video with your friends and family. Regardless of your age or time in the workforce, the time to start saving and investing toward a comfortable and wealthy retirement is now. Hit the subscribe and like buttons now to get more financial tips that will change your life forever. Have you ever wondered how to make your money work as hard as you do? Imagine waking up to a fuller bank account without lifting a finger. Stop trading time for money and start living life on your terms. If you're ready to step into the world of financial liberation, all you need to do is take that first step. Watch the video appearing on the screen right now. I'll see you there.